Well, hello there folks, welcome back to the forest. So I'm going to be doing an overnighter and actually camping in the woodland tonight, which I'm just super excited about. Haven't been out camping for ages, it feels like anyway. So it's going to be a case of going over and getting the tent set up. So I've got the OneTigris Backwoods Bungalow with me. So I'm going to be staying in that tonight. So it'll be a case of getting the tent set up, get myself all comfortable. Main purpose for the next couple of days is going to be starting the kitchen. So I'll sort of lay out the foundations and the trying to get the main sort of poles and structure in before we get to the sort of wood store, etc. So let's head over and we'll get the tent set up and get ourselves all comfortable in camp. So what I normally do is I normally tie it off between two trees, but I don't have two trees here. But I want to try and do it beside camp, so it's nice and easy, just back and forward to the shelter. So as I said, I'm just going to put in two sticks just now, just so I can tie it off, and then I'll get everything sort of set up. So that's the shelter all sort of set up the way I like it. So I do tend to spend quite a lot of time actually doing it just to make sure it's all got the right tension. But I say the main reason why I'm going to be staying in here as opposed to the main shelter itself is, as I was saying earlier on, the bed, I've got a bit of an issue with the bed. Not going to take a huge amount to actually fix, but I'm going to lay out all my gear because I've got quite a lot of tools, etc. So I'm going to use the shelter as a sort of where I've got all my tools and axes and things like that as well. Lay them out on the actual bed itself. So I'm just going to get everything in here, but my sleep system for tonight, just to sort of let you know, I've got the OEX Fathom and it's the 400 sleeping bag. So really nice. I've had a couple of really nice nights sleep in that one. And then I've got the reactor sleeping bag liner. Now, not sure if I'm going to need it tonight or not, but it's meant to be getting down to about 4 degrees, which is not incredibly cold, and I've got good layering, so we'll see how we go. I've then got the Thermarest sleep mat as always, and I've got the Rab Stratosphere pillow. So this is one of my sort of favourite setups at the moment. So I should be in for a comfy night. So I'm just going to get everything sort of set up in here just now, and then it'll be a case of going out, checking the wood, making sure I've got all the right resources. Anything I'm needing, I'll go back up into the woodland to actually get. But it's going to be a lovely couple of days. Really looking forward to it. I haven't been out camping for a wee while, but as I said, this particular shelter I really like. So as I said, I'm just going to get things set up and then I'll get back with us. And relax. What a great setup. Really cool. Right, on with some work. So the other thing I was wanting to show you as well was the garden just now. So it's coming on really well. So I'm going to need to do a wee bit of work on that before I go. So as I said, that's the potato side, and then over on the other side you can see the shoots, and that's onions in there, and also I've got carrots in there, and I've also got spinach in there as well, and then the strawberry plants, and then again you can see the shoots in there. So I'm really chuffed with that, really chuffed with that. It's great seeing things growing, it's just so exciting seeing things going. So I'm super excited for the meal. So again, once it comes to harvesting time, I'm going to have, so as I said, if you're any sort of suggestions for dinners or meals that you want to see me cook, so as I said, I'll have potatoes, I'll have onions, I will have spinach, I will have garlic, I will have carrots, and then for pudding I'm going to have strawberries, blackberries and blueberries, and as I was saying, chanterelle mushrooms growing in the local area as well. So any suggestions, please just pop a wee comment below, and I'll have a look at it and try and sort of get something done. Dutch ovens are really the most ideal way of actually doing it. I did a stew last time, so I'll put a wee link to that in the top corner, just so you can actually have a look at. But as I said, it's so much fun. It's just been absolutely fantastic and really exhilarating to be able to sort of watch the vegetables grow over the last wee while. But I really need to get on with some work. I've been sort of very much chilling out and relaxing for the last little bit. So it's going to be a case of sort of getting everything sort of set up just now. So what I'm planning on doing is all the sort of materials that I've got behind me there, I'm just going to actually place everything out across there, just so that I can actually see exactly what materials I have. And then it'll be identifying any sort of bits of wood that I need to go up. And then as I said, I've got string. I'm just going to sort of measure everything out to make sure that everything's going to be perfect. The challenge I've got is obviously when I'm going to dig holes down to actually be able to put the stanchions and the 4 main beams in, I need them to be at exactly the same height. And obviously the ground is not exactly the same height. So that's the challenge. So I have got a little bit different this time, so I've actually taken out spirit level and things like that as well, just to try and help me. But no, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really exciting other wee project, and great just getting the kitchen back up and built again. So let's get cracking with that just now, and we'll see what materials we do need to go up into the woods and get. Okay, so that's me laying out all the components. So I've got the 4 main stanchions just over there, and then I've got the roof section just here, and then directly behind me is just going to be all the sort of slats. But the bit that's a bit different in this is I'm actually going to integrate a table inside it, and the table is going to be quite similar sort of technique to the step ladder, i.e. sort of whittled pegs at the end. And hopefully that is going to brace everything together so that it won't be a situation where it falls over like it did the last one. So as I said, I'm going to do that just now. I'm just going to lay everything out so I can actually sort of visualize it, and then I'm going to put string round just to actually peg it all out, and then dig the holes down for the actual main beams themselves. And I'm going to try and put them down maybe a sort of 3 foot, just so that they're deep enough, and again sort of pack everything back in again so it sort of holds everything in position. But for the actual main parts, what I'm planning on doing is putting the roof on to an extent. So again, when I'm actually putting it in, it's actually already, the spacing's already sort of set out. So I'm going to try and do that just now. So what I'm going to do is just lay everything out for the ones that's there. Just put the string out just to mark it all out, and then we'll get the holes dug. So I'm going to use the same holes that I actually had dug before, because I said they're already dug down. I need to probably put a little bit more depth in them, but in general it's going to give me a good idea. So I'm just going to lay out the template and using those 2 pieces. And again, the pegs are actually still in, one of them there and one of them there, so the spacing I'm going to be able to work out without any problem. And then this will be made the same as the other one, so there will be a case of I'll sort of take off end pieces just down to a certain point so that it actually just sits on top perfectly. Yep, absolutely spot on. And all I'm going to do is just basically put pegs as to where I'm going to need to dig. Now the other bit I'm going to be doing as well is I'm making a table. So basically, if that's going to be the length of the actual roof, I'm probably going to want the table to come out to about here. And that's also going to be the wood store. So again, so just marking out where I'm going to be actually digging the holes. So what I'm going to do just now, I'm going to cut a couple of bits down to the right length. Some of them are a little bit longer than others. Now the other challenge I've got is on this side it's actually slightly higher than the other side. so I'm going to need to calculate that as well. Or alternatively, actually when it comes to me putting it in, I can conceivably cut off or dig down a little bit more. So it's all up here, it's all up here. It's going to come, it's going to come good. And now I'm going to drill a hole in the end, which is basically so when it's actually in the ground itself, and I'm laying the other sections on it, I can actually put the peg through, which is just going to hold the frame all in position. The other thing I'm going to be doing as well is drilling a hole sort of halfway down, or sort of a certain distance for the table. And again, that's just going to have a support beam going across from one side to the other. And hopefully that'll sort of make the frame a little bit more rigid. And again, as I said earlier on, hopefully it won't fall down this time. Okay, so one of the other things I've got to do is just make about 6 of these 1-inch pegs, and that's just going to hold everything together, just matching up with the holes on the top and also the holes on the supports. Well, that has been an incredibly relaxing afternoon. Very, very slow pace, just being accurate with everything. Hopefully all my sort of measurements, etc. will work out. But no, that has been absolutely brilliant. Just sort of sitting there with the draw knife, with the Scotch auger. Same as last week with the step ladder. It's just so relaxing. I just find building just so relaxing. So hopefully you have enjoyed that as well. So as I said, it's just gone 6 o'clock, so I'm not going to do any more tonight. What I will be doing is I'll be whittling pegs later on, just in readiness for tomorrow morning. But I'm just going to take a little 5-minute chill just now, and then it's going to be a case of getting dinner on, and dinner is going to be a full-on fry-up. So super excited, absolutely starving. So really looking forward to it, but as I said, it's going to take a few minutes just now, and then I'll hook up with you. Well, I've been looking forward to this so much, and I'm not just talking about the beer. Now, there's been a lot of chat about my cutlery. That my fork looks like a trident. So I said it's more a case of, it's one of these things where I could easily just make another one, but it's almost like, you know, I like the bushcraft style of it. It's not perfect, but trident, it's not quite a trident. But no, as I said, I've been sort of building up to this for the last wee while. So after dinner, it's just going to be a case of very much a relaxation. Cheers. Yeah, very much a relaxation, and I'm just going to whittle away at the pegs, just ready for tomorrow morning. So I'm really looking forward to it. A nice relaxing night. It has got quite cloudy. So we'll wait and see what happens weather-wise as to whether there is any sort of developments rain-wise. Hopefully not. But as I said, if the rain does start, all I'll do is I'll just pull down the actual front. One of the reasons why I like that particular shelter, it's just so versatile. You know, I can literally just put down the awning, and you're sort of protected to an extent. Right, but as I said, I'm just going to finish this just now, and then I'll take you back over to the the tent. Just love the ambient light of a fire. It's just brilliant. So that's been an incredibly relaxing evening, just sort of chilling out. So I've got the lantern on, I've got the Uko candle on, and then just the fire as well. So absolutely brilliant, just so nice. So I'm just going to sort of chill out for another sort of few minutes, then it's going to be a case of heading into bed. So I said I'll catch up with you just as I'm heading into bed itself. Early start tomorrow. The plan is to try and get the main frame up for the kitchen itself, so really excited about it. Be looking forward to getting this done for quite a while, but nah, thoroughly enjoyable night, really relaxing. So as I said, I'll just see you in a few minutes, just when I'm getting into my bed. Okay, so that's me just getting into the sleeping bag just now, and I'm going to head off to sleep. So barring any incident, I shall see you all in the morning. Well, good morning. That was such a good sleep. But it's just beautiful getting woken up by the noise of the birds. It's just absolutely fantastic. Absolutely amazing. But no, really nice sleep, but it is time for work, so I'm going to get up, get some coffee on, and then have a quick wee breakfast. And I've got bros for breakfast, which I'll go through and I'll show you what that is. Bros for breakfast, and then it's just going to be a case of getting straight back onto it. Tempted with another 10 minutes in the sleeping bag, but I need to get going. Okay, so bros is basically pinhead oatmeal. Some butter. And some salt. And I'm just going to leave that just to sort of soak into the oatmeal itself. It's that first coffee of the day. Absolutely perfect. So that's what the bros looks like once all the sort of waters yeah, once all the water has been absorbed by the oatmeal. But really nice, really tasty, and really sets you up for the day. It's going to be a busy day today, so I just wanted to make sure I had some proper fuel in me. But as I was saying earlier, a really comfy night. So it got down to about -3 degrees, but it didn't feel cold at all. And I didn't even have the sleeping bag liner, and had slightly less layering than I normally have. And it was a perfectly good sleep. No animal noises during the night. There was quite a lot of activity just when I was going to bed and all that sort of things as well. And I was a wee bit nervous about it. I did actually have a trail camera, but I didn't put it up. But there was quite a lot of activity last night that I just wasn't sure whether it was going to continue into the evening, but everything seemed to quieten down about sort of midnight as all the animals went to sleep. And then I said it's been really nice. Woke up this morning, just the noise of the birds, which is just one of my favourite things. Like I said, I'm just going to finish off my breakfast and then I'll hook up with you. Okay, so I'm just wanting to make sure the pegs I've made and whittled are going to go through. Yeah. Okay, so I can cut these down now, and then I'm just going to lay out the frame of the roof itself before I start digging. Okay, so that's everything square, pegs go in okay, so it's literally just a case of actually just drilling the holes now down deep enough that I can actually have a bit of stability with it. Now the other thing I'm able to do here just now as well is get an idea as to what the difference in height is between left and right. So as I said, left has probably got about another sort of 4 inches, so when I'm digging that hole over in the top left hand corner there as I'm looking at it, I'll be able to dig it a little bit deeper. Okay, so I'm at the stage now when I'm going to be digging the holes, and I have to say this is the bit I'm most nervous about, because as I said, if you look at the ground there, it's just so uneven. So to try and make it that the level part at the roof is all going to be level is going to be a bit of a challenge. But the other thing I'm wanting to do as well, as I said, this the table, you know, I'm wanting to try and integrate the actual main table of the kitchen area itself into the 2 outer beams, and ideally drilling holes, etc. So it could be a bit of a challenge just sort of knowing exactly what height to have it at, because I need it all to be level. So what I'm planning at doing at the moment is I'm going to dig the 2 holes at the end, and then I'm going to put them in and then sort of almost set the structure up and then measure out where it is and drill the holes, potentially even drill the holes on location, and then it'll just be a case of actually just getting one of the other sticks behind me and then whittling out pegs at the end, and then potentially taking it all apart and putting it all together again. So that's what I'm sort of planning at the moment. So I'm just going to batter on just now and get the holes dug, but I say this is the bit I'm really nervous about, and it's going to be great because I'm going to be able to use the step ladder when it comes to putting in the top sections, which was the whole reason why I built the step ladder in the first place. Okay, so let's batter on and just get this done. Yeah, so there's roots crisscrossing above and below, but I think once I'm past them, might be okay. So I'm just going to get my saw and I'm just going to cut out those little bits there because it's got a good network, but it's a dead tree anyway. But so once I've cut that ones out, there doesn't seem too much in the way below. Okay, so step ladder wise, just wanting to brace it. So all I've literally done is I've just whittled another couple of pegs, and then just going to have one side in there, and then this side, same thing again, and then notch cut on there, and then that's just braced with the pieces there. So as I said, that'll just stop the ladder itself moving around, because now that I'm going to be doing the next section, I need a bit of elevation. So that's the whole concept of actually building the step ladder in the first place. Okay, so the moment of truth, and I've actually not got enough room to lay everything out, which has proven a bit of a challenge as well. But let's see how we go with this. So this is the first part of it. Okay, now fortunately was hoping I was going to be able to lean it against the tree. I don't think that's going to work. Okay, so that's section 1 up, and then I'm just going to put section 2, and then it'll be a case of trying to do the cross beams. But I said the challenge is that looks flat. That actually looks as if it's going to be okay. Fingers crossed. So the other plan was to use the step ladder as a bit of a brace as well. Okay. Okay, so that's the main part up. What I now need to do is put the top beams across. Okay, that's worked out perfect. Really pleased with that. Right, just to do the last bit. Alright, that's the wind really getting up just now, unfortunately, but I'm just going to give you a quick wee guided tour before I take the shelter down. So basically all the poles have been dug in and then braced with rocks etc as well, and then it was basically a case of just sort of using the chisel just to mark everything out, and then there's a peg holding everything in. And what I've done at the moment is I've tied this off to a tree just now, but it does seem solid enough. But next time I'm up, I'm going to put braces in each individual corner before I get the table down. Now basically trying to visualize the table for you, but it's going to be a case of I'm going to have like a pole coming out, dug down, and then slats just across. Similar sort of idea to what I had before, but I have to say the Bushcraft ladder was absolutely spot on. Really good. And then we'll be putting the roof on and just sort of getting it finalised. That's well smart, well pleased. But as I said, the shelter is getting blown around and the wind's going to be getting really strong over the next wee while. So I'm just going to spend the next little bit just sort of getting the shelter down, everything packed away, and then I'll hook up with you. That has been an epic couple of days, really good. It's great seeing the sort of structure of the kitchen back up again. And as I said, I've got a few ideas, just even as I'm sort of building, I'm changing some of the plans. Just more to brace it, to try and stop it falling over. I just do not want what happened last time to happen. Again, sort of idea from the point of view of it falling over. So I just really need to make sure I actually have a proper plan in place to make it as solid as possible. So I got a few ideas which I'll go through in the next video. That's it, I'm just going to slowly pack everything up, and then I'll catch up with you just as I'm heading off, sort of idea. Could easily stay out here for another night. It would be absolutely brilliant. It'd be so much fun, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully get out next week again and sort of do the second part of it. And again, when I sort of arrive here, I'm going to go through what the plan is. I'm planning even trying to have, like, as I said, I'm going to have a wood store underneath. But I'm hoping also to have like a shelf in there as well. I'm also looking to have a wee section there where I can just put my bag every time I arrive. So it's so exciting, so exciting. But as I said, just going to get packed up just now, and then I'll hook up with you just before I'm leaving. Well, that's me all packed up, ready to go. But what an absolutely amazing trip. That was thoroughly enjoyable, really enjoyed that. Long overdue. I've been wanting to try and get the kitchen sort of put back up for ages. Just obviously it was a shame that it sort of came down in the first place, but these things happen. But I've made it better. It's an improvement on what it was before. What I am going to do is just sort of make joists, etc. as well, to sort of hold everything in place and make it a little bit more solid. And then over the next couple of videos, it's going to be a case of making the table, and also I'm going to have some shelves and cupboards, as I was sort of saying earlier on, just for storage. So absolutely brilliant trip, thoroughly enjoyable. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video where we get the table made.